Hello everyone, it's Becca from Becca Books and Bujo, and it is time to do my in and out, or haul and unhaul, for August. I'm so excited to share with you the books that I'm bringing into my library and the ones I'm getting out of my library. So let's just get started. I'm going to start with the three I'm unhauling this month. This will give you a little hint as to what I didn't like reading this month, but let's see. The first that I'm going to unhaul is a book of the month from August of 2022. I finally got to it thanks to Ketchup-a-thon. This is When We Were Bright and Beautiful by Jillian Medoff. This was too many unlikable characters and a story I didn't want to read about. It basically was like the Brock Turner case, and we were living in the lives of the family of Brock Turner. So, didn't love it, getting rid of it. Another one that I read and really enjoyed, it was just a sweet young adult romance. It's called Crumbs by Danny Silver. Nothing bad, but just also not one that I need to keep on my shelves. It was a witchy kind of romance, and it was fun. I think it'd be great for someone to read in September, October here in the spooky season. But it's just not one I want to keep on my shelves. And lastly, one that I had kept on my currently reading shelf for far too long on Goodreads and finally just decided to DNF it. This is Priest Daddy by Patricia Lockwood. It is a memoir about a woman whose dad is a priest and what that was like growing up. I thought I would love this because I am a pastor's daughter, but I just didn't care about this woman's story. I also wanted to keep it because I got this book at Powell's in Portland, and I wanted to keep the treasure that I got at Powell's, but I am going to part with it and hope that somebody else will love it. Next up, let's go with the books that I thrifted this month. I got most of these in one day with my good friend Alexa. We were in Eau Claire and we went around to a few different shops, so these are all books that I got not for full price. The first is the most recent release of Louise Penny, A World of Curiosities. This is in her Inspector Armand Gamache series. It is a hope and dream of mine to own all of these. They are just fun mysteries set in a teeny little town in Canada called Three Pines. We follow Inspector Armand Gamache as he solves murder mysteries. I think the books are so beautiful. I love like the watercolors on the inside, and so I'm glad I was able to pick this up for a small amount of money instead of the full $30 that this would have cost new. This was one I got a while ago at a Friends of the Library type sale up in the cities, but I immediately gave it to my mom, so I never hauled it when I first got it. This is called The Fountains of Silence by Ruta Sepetys. She read it and really loved it, and now I am excited to be able to get to it. I believe it is about a young woman in Spain, Madrid, Spain, in 1957. During the Spanish Civil War. So I'm hoping to actually pick this one up relatively soon when Willie and I go to Spain in October. I got a couple of books that I had already read. I got Happy Place by Emily Henry. This will make me a completionist of at least her most recent releases, her adult romances, of owning them. I've read all of them too, but I will now have all of them. Happy Place was the only one I didn't own. Yeah, that's true, because I have Beach Read, People We Meet on Vacation, Happy Place, Funny Story, and Book Lovers. So I've got them all now. I just couldn't pass up the opportunity to own this one. A great contemporary romance with some hard-hitting themes. I also picked up this copy of The Hate U Give for 50 cents at a library book sale in Eau Claire. I love this book and never owned a copy. Everyone should read this book. I think it is about a young woman who witnesses the death of a black man at the hands of a police officer. So, very pertinent for our time right now, unfortunately. I also picked up books 1 and 3 in the Chronicles of Narnia series by C.S. Lewis. I made a slight mistake because I thought these were the only ones I needed, but I needed book 4 too. And they had it at this store, but I missed out on it. That's okay. So I'm still on the hunt for book 4 in this edition. Yeah, just want to have all 7 of the Chronicles of Narnia series in this edition for a reread ever, or mostly to read with my kids eventually. And lastly, a book I think I got for $1 that day is The Last Mrs. Parrish by Liv Constantine. This is a thriller I've been interested in. Don't really know much about it. Amber Patterson is fed up. She's tired of being a nobody, a plain, invisible woman who blends into the background. She deserves more, a life of money and power like the one blonde-haired, blue-eyed goddess Daphne Parrish takes for granted. To everyone in the exclusive town of Bishop's Harbor, Connecticut, Daphne, a socialite and philanthropist, and her real estate mogul husband, Jackson, are a couple straight out of a fairy tale, blessed with 2 lovely young daughters. Amber's envy could eat her alive if she didn't have a plan. Amber uses Daphne's compassion to insinuate herself into the family's life. The first step is a meticulous scheme to undermine her. Before long, Amber is Daphne's closest confidant, traveling to Europe with the Parrish family and growing closer to Jackson. But a skeleton from Amber's past may ruin everything that she has worked toward, and if it is discovered, her well-laid plan may fall to pieces. I don't know, sounds like a good domestic thriller, and one I'd be interested in. So, glad I picked this one up for $1. Those were all the thrifted books. Now let's talk about the gifted books. I love a good rhyme. Okay, so I was lucky enough to receive a box from Aardvark this month. I vlogged it at one point, and I know that there's a code. I could put it in the description box of this too, but you can start an Aardvark book box subscription for I think $4 with this word. So you can give it a try if it's something you are interested in. I got a few books from them. I got The Truth According to Ember by Danica Nava, which is a fake dating romance, I believe. A Chickasaw woman who can't catch a break serves up a little white lie that snowballs into much more in this witty and irresistible rom-com by the debut author Danica Nava. Excited for that one. And then I got Caleb Azuma Nelson's most recent release, Small Worlds. I have Open Water on my shelves, haven't gotten to it, but I would love to read both of these, maybe in an author taste test sometime soon. This looks like it's a story about fathers and sons and their faith and friendship. So looking forward to that one. And then the last one in that box I got was Masquerade by O.O. Sangoyami. I think this is a historical fantasy. Set in a wonderfully reimagined 15th century West Africa, Masquerade is a dazzling lyrical tale exploring the true cost of one woman's fight for freedom and self-discovery and the lengths she'll go to secure her future. So, I really love the diversity that Aardvark offers in their book boxes, so that's great. This next book I got on the day with my friend Alexa, but she bought it for me as a birthday present, so that's why it was gifted. This is one of my all-time favorite books, The Death of Vivek Oji by Akwaeke Emezi. It is heartbreaking and raw, but so worth the read. I want to reread it, honestly, now that I own the copy of it. I listened to it the first time I read it, and I would love to go back to it. It is about a mother who opens her front door and discovers her son's body dead, wrapped in colorful fabric at her feet. And so she is learning how this happened to her son, and it is heartbreaking and beautiful. So, love that one. And then these next 4 books I got from my friend Jess. Jess is one of my patrons, and she sends me books sometimes from her Pango bookshop. So I love her for that. Thank you, Jess. I vlogged this too in August because I vlogged every day in August, but she sent me the first 3 in the Wayfarer series. I have The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet, A Closed and Common Orbit, and Record of a Spaceborne Few, all by Becky Chambers. I read my first Becky Chambers just a couple of months ago, A Psalm for the Wild-Built, and absolutely loved it. The writing was beautiful, but I also just loved the cozy feel and vibe of it, and I feel like these will be similar. A cozy sci-fi of sorts, and I think it's just space travel and a young woman trying to find her way. I don't know. So looking forward to these. I'm actually reading the first one in September, so stay tuned for thoughts on that. And then I also got a Lisa Jewell book from her. This is Then She Was Gone. I love adding thrillers to my shelves. I feel like these are the ones I reach for the least, but I like having a good collection. This one says, no one ever just disappears. Ellie Mack was the perfect daughter, and then she was gone. 10 years after Ellie's disappearance, her mother, Laurel Mack, is trying to put her life back together when she meets an unexpectedly charming man in a cafe. Before she knows it, she's meeting Floyd's daughters and his youngest, Poppy. Takes Laurel's breath away, because the eerily precocious Poppy is the spitting image of Ellie. Ooh, that sounds good. I think I'll want to read a lot of thrillers in September, October, so glad that I have that one to choose from. And lastly is the stack of books that I bought pretty much full price, so thought I'd tell you about them as well. I guess this one just came along with my Book of the Month box. This month, it's Volume 0. It is one of their short stories. They've been trying out these Volume 0 short story collections. I have never added one to my box, but they must want to get some marketing out there for it, and I might read it. Who knows? My August book pick for Book of the Month was The Pairing by Casey McQuiston. I'm a little sad I got this copy after I saw the beautifully sprayed edges. Like, they're purple and they have like the Eiffel Tower and little bits of food on it. They're so cute, but this is the copy I have, and that's okay. I have liked Casey McQuiston a lot in the past, and also didn't agree with One Last Stop, but this is about two men, Theo and Kit. They end up on the same tour of Europe, and they kind of place this bet against each other about sleeping around, and yeah, I don't know. It sounds fun. I think I'll like it. It sounds kind of reminiscent of Red, White, and Royal Blue, which is the one I love by Casey McQuiston. Okay, this one, again, the sprayed edges got me. I don't know anything about the story of this, but I do know it is a fantasy romance. So, this is Throne of the Fallen by Carrie Maniscalco. The purple, it got me. I had to give it a try. It says, a dark prince battling an impossible curse, a mysterious artist with secrets of her own, and one last chance to be set free. I don't know. I think I saw Kayla from Books and Lala read this and really enjoy it. So we'll see. I also believe it's a YA, which nothing wrong with that. I feel like YA fantasy romance might be easier for me to digest a little bit, but we shall see. I also ended up buying my Patreon book club book for August, The Briar Club by Kate Quinn. I had it for the longest time from the library, but then it needed to be returned, and so I just decided to buy my own copy. I thought I would like to have it to reference for book club, and I also really think I will love it. I'm really close to the end with this one, like probably only 100 pages left, and it's a really great story. Kate Quinn's strong female characters captivate me. She's a great storyteller, and yeah, this one involves a little bit of mystery, which is new. Well, there's been mystery, I guess, in Kate Quinn's stories before, but this is a murder mystery, so a little bit more fun and thrilling than some of her other historical fictions. But yeah, this was one I just wanted to get. And lastly, I went a little crazy. I don't know if you remember, I had that gift card for Barnes & Noble a while ago that I got through dollars on my watch. People have asked about this, but it's an app through my health insurance, through Willie's health insurance that I'm a part of, and you can get dollars for exercising, and I decided to get a Barnes & Noble gift card in like June or July, and I used it up on the rest of the Chestnut Springs series. I loved Flawless so much last month that I also decided to get Heartless, Powerless, Reckless, and Hopeless. I want to pick these up ASAP because they're just so fun. They make me jump into the book and forget where I am, and just super fun cowboy romances about these family of brothers in Chestnut Springs. So happy to have these on my shelves. And now for my favorite part of the video, let's talk about stats. So I don't know if you were counting or paying attention, but I brought in 22 books in the month of August, and I unhauled 3 books. So I technically added 19 to my shelves. If you compare that to last month, July, I hauled a little bit less and I unhauled a little bit less. So that's okay. I don't know what that really tells us, but it's fun to compare. And now we will compare the amount of physical, Kindle, and borrowed books that I have unread on my shelves. Let's just quick check in with July. At the end of July, I had 218 physical books, 54 Kindle books, and 22 borrowed books, for a total of 294 unread books on my shelves. And now let's look at August. The physical went up and the Kindle and borrowed stayed the same. So the physical is up to 226 now, and Kindle and borrowed are both at 54 and 22 respectively. The total went up to 302. So I broke the 300 mark. That's okay. You'll notice that there was only a positive 8, which you'll be like, wait, you hauled 22 books and unhauled 3, that should be positive 19. Well, there are books that I have read off of my shelves in the month of August, and so we technically did bring the number down if I wouldn't have hauled a bunch of books, but that's okay. I love to look at these numbers. Let's see if next month we can maybe lower them a little bit. That would be great. But otherwise, it's fun to just keep me accountable and remember that I have that many books on my shelves to read. So let me know in the comments if you have read any of the books that I hauled, and let me know what I should start with. It would be great to have some bookish conversation with you down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye.